Hello everyone, welcome to Informatica support videos. This is Durgesh Gangal and today I'm going to explain you about profiling in test data management. So basically profiling is nothing but to identify various kind of columns from the table like primary key constraints, foreign key constraints, and also you can profile your data from the table based on the regular expression patterns. So suppose if you have a data in the table with name XYZ ABC and you want to identify which all columns has this data, so you can you can scan the table and get the column information which is having the respective data. So that is called data discovery profiling basically. So in TDM you can achieve all these three types of profiling. So basically one is primary profiling and entity profiling, and the another one is data discovery profiling. So in this demo I'll take you with all these three profilings and I'll show you the results of various type of profiling. So now I'm gonna profile these two tables which is having data as this, and in this you can see there is a product ID which is related to both the tables. So now when I do a profiling in TDM for a primary key profiling, it will tell me about out of these three columns, cust ID, cust name and product ID, which is the column which is the best candidate for the primary key to opt for. So let me show you the process of creating primary key profiling in TDM. So this is the project which I have created for a demo. So now I have imported a table which I'll show you. So these two tables which I have imported in the TDM. So go to the Discover tab. You can see the tables. You can see the columns of the table. Now go to the Profile tab. Go to the rightmost and you can see there's a new profile. Just let's create a profile for foreign key. Go to next. Here you can add the list of tables which you want to discover the primary key column in those tables. So I'll select these two tables. I'll say next. So these are the few properties of primary key profiling. Suppose these are the default properties. If you want to override, you can override it by selecting this checkbox, and here you have an option of you can specify number of key columns which you want to scan in the table to identify the primary key column. So here by default it is 3. You can increase it to according to your requirement, and here you can specify the number of rows to which the tool has to scan and identify whether this particular column is a good candidate for the primary key or not. Now coming back to the conformance criteria. So this is here it is given as a percentage level. When you give 100%, so the algorithm will check for 100% distinct columns in the column. So suppose if I if I give 100%, it will check complete set of data in the column to be distinct. Suppose if I give it as 50, then among 100 records, if there are 50 distinct records, then also it will consider that particular column as a good candidate for the primary key. So here now we'll provide it as 99 and we'll just override this and just save this. So now go to the Actions tab and execute this. Here it will ask you the connection details to which it can access the data from the table. So you can provide the connection details, or you can select the connection from the drop down and provide the respective connection and then go for an execute. So I'll do it again, go for an execute. Okay, let me check it if it has been executed or not. So yeah, so the we have executed it, so you can see it's in a running state. So now it has been succeeded. Let's check the output of particular primary key profiling. So here you can see there's a new tab has come up, which is primary key. When you click on that, see, you can see there are so many columns from both the table which are a good candidate for the primary key. However, when you see the data, so in this table test profile 1, you have 3 columns and all the 3 columns have the distinct records. So the TDM shows these 3 columns as a good candidate for the profiling, and you can see there is a uniqueness as 100%. So you can opt any of this column as a primary key and mark it as, go to the actions and mark it as approved checked items. So now I have approved this particular column as a primary key among rest of the columns. So we have seen how primary key profiling works. Now let's go to this entity profiling. So entity profiling is nothing but a foreign key profiling, and it will give us the primary key and foreign key relationship among the tables. So here in these two tables, if I see, there is a product ID which is related to the table test product. You can see the values. So when I profile in TDM foreign key profiling, then it should give me those 2 columns which are having an data which are related to each other. So let's try to do entity key profiling. So in the TDM, before going to the entity key profiling, you have also to select a primary key profiling, because in the TDM the profiling basically happens based on the primary key values. So here each profiling is independent to each other. So when you go for an foreign key profiling, the tool needs to know what are the primary keys first. So that's why while doing a foreign key profiling, by default we need to go for primary key as well, so that once the profiling is done for the primary key, and then it will go for a foreign key. So if you do individually only entity profiling, it will not give you a result. So take care of this point. You have to select primary key as well in order to get the foreign key results in the TDM. However, previous to this we have done a primary key profiling already, so you might be having a doubt that the results of primary key would be stored in TDM, but each profiling what we create is not related to each other, and there will not be any reference among the 2 different profiles. So hence, while creating a foreign key profiling, we have to go for a primary key profiling as well. So here again the same property comes into picture for primary key and also for foreign key. So save it. So we'll try to execute this now. Here also it will ask the connection details since it is trying to access the data from the table, hence. So we have spawned the job and it is running here. So it has been succeeded. Let's check the result of foreign key. So here you can see there are two tabs which has come up. So one is entity, which will show you the foreign key relationship. So here you can see product ID from test profile and test product PID are good candidate for primary key and foreign key relationship. So conformance percentage is 100. So for this it will show here. So you can again approve this or reject this if the results are according to your requirement. So this is how foreign key profiling can be achieved in TDM. So again this will show the same profiling for primary key results. So now coming back to the last profiling point, it is data discovery. This is nothing but discovering the columns data or a metadata. So here I have created a domain where I'll provide the patterns which I need to find in the table or in the column. So I have given as data pattern as the data available in the table test product and test profile 1. So similarly I have given a metadata pattern as product name, which is the column name in the table test product. So let me create a profiling, which is third data domain profiling. So let's select that, select any of the table, select the test profile table, and here you can see there are two options, policy and data domain. Select the data domain, and this is the domain which I have created, and you can have an option of go for a domain discovery for data or column name only or both. So here I'll just show you for data domain discovery. So go to actions, execute it. So we have spawned the job and it is running. So it has been succeeded. Let's check out the result of this. So you can see there is a data domain tab here. So you can see there was a data domain tab. Now here you can see data preview. So just click on this. You will see the output of matched data with the patterns. So here you can see it has been matched with JPMC and Wells Fargo data which is there in the table test profile. So similarly we can achieve the metadata domain profiling by giving the right patterns. Here the patterns can be given as in regular expression. Multiple patterns also can be given. So this is how we achieved 3 types of profiling in this demo: primary profiling, entity profiling, and data discovery profiling. So for any more information you can refer to our test data management guide about the profiling. We would like to hear you about this video. You can provide your valuable feedback by going through support videos at informatica.com or by getting in touch with Twitter account of Informatica, which is twitter.com/infasupport. Thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day.